Good evening, everyone. We will now begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for blessings and protection received while participating in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku prayer, please stand. Takahama ni kansumarimmasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no imuka no tachi hana no. Odo no aagi hara ni. Misogi harai tamo utoki ni narimaseru. Araido no o kamitachi, moro moro no magagoto tsumikegare o. Arai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshi o. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya o yorozu no kamitachi tomoni. Amen no fuchi koma no mimi furitatete. Kikoshin meseto, kashiko minu maosu. Miroku o mikami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kam nagara tamachi haemase. Kam nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. We now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Makoto. Words of love spoken from the heart, even if awkward and stumbling, have the power to affect the hearts of others. The essence of living our faith can best be described in one word, Makoto, love. No other words are needed, no lesser word would suffice. What is missing in our world is Makoto, love and integrity. That is really what is lacking. The simplest way to know whether a person has or does not have Makoto is to see how much value is placed on promises and whether or not they are kept. People in general do not think it is so important to keep a mere promise, but truly it is, because the breaking of one's word means that the individual has told a lie, has committed a sort of moral crime. Of the various types of promises made, the one people tend to treat the most lightly is that of punctuality. You should show consideration for the person you have promised to meet. If such consideration does not well up from within, it is because you are lacking in Makoto, love. No matter how good you may be otherwise, the absence of this one vitally important quality spoils your whole being. Anyone who believes in God should do his or her best to keep promises and to be on time always. If you cannot do this, you fail a test of faith. Those who profess to believe in God should never forget this. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for attending this evening service. Today we prayed for all our ancestors, for our loved ones, and for all those who are connected with our Miroku Association USA. Today I would like to do something important for all of us, which is to study Meishu-sama's teachings. We all learn about Meishu-sama's philosophy by reading the teachings of Meishu-sama, and today I'd like to read about Johrei, to study together with you about Johrei. Meishu-sama says, Johrei is the name given to the access and transmission of spiritual energy or divine light in order to purify a person's spiritual body and awaken one's divine nature. Johrei prepares an individual to pass through the coming critical period, sometimes called the Last Judgment. The power of Johrei varies to some extent with each person, although all members, wear the sacred focal point, the oikari, through which the divine light emanates. When the light is transmitted by someone with a deeper spiritual understanding, it is stronger and more effective. Its effectiveness may change, even with the same person from time to time. The Johrei light itself is always powerful to the same degree, but it is influenced by the dedication, sincerity, Makoto, humility, love, and faith of the giver. So, The importance of attitude and thought during the process, during Johrei, it cannot be overemphasized. So it is important to be completely at ease, with arms, elbow, and hand fully relaxed, and the mind in a peaceful state, in order that the flow may not be impeded. Also, Meishu-sama says that the sacred, the way the sacred focal point is handled too makes a huge difference in the effectiveness of the light. So a great care must be taken to prevent interference with its vibratory power. Now, for those who have just finished the membership course, for those who just received the Ohikari, new members, and they are not sure yet whether they can truly transmit it to the divine light, those people often experience remarkable results. Should this, instead of making them grateful, give rise to false pride and cause them to think, oh, I'm pretty good now, they may be surprised to find their ability to transmit the Johrei power becoming weaker. So we have to be very careful on that point. Because when conceit is present, the power of Johrei is distorted. Although it is good to have full trust in God and confidence in oneself, it is important to realize we are only the instruments of God's power. Now, another point that Meishu-sama says is when giving Johrei to a seriously ill person seems to have little effect at times. Members find a specific additional prayer for God's help brings the desired result. But Johrei is a prayer in action, and we must always rely on God when giving it. Johrei is not merely a method, a technique, or a treatment. So, if we feel it is not effective, we must discover in what respect we are not in accord with the law and does not attune with the infinite source. When we are connected, when we connect ourselves to God, when we attune ourselves to God, our prayers will be answered. So, many people also ask if is Johrei effective, whether one believe it or not. The answer is both yes and no. Although it is true that Johrei works regardless of belief, it's true. Someone who does not understand the transmission of the divine light by means of Johrei may be helped, even though that person is very skeptical about it. However, the circumstances differ for those who have had results from Johrei and therefore should have gained an understanding of its true nature. The law is immutable and everything works logically. A person who has not experienced Johrei and receives it, I don't know if it's going to work, skeptically, perhaps even arguing, against it, may be excused for their attitude, as this is quite natural. But if after reading the teachings of Meishu-sama, taking the course and experiencing its benefits, and the recipient still has misgivings, Johrei may not work effectively. Thus, it is that beginners, though doubtful, can experience
gratifying results, while others may not. So people sometimes question the repeated purifications and wonder about their meaning. Now, it is necessary and natural that the many layers of accumulated spiritual clouds manifested as toxins be eliminated. And so they are dissolved one after another through Johrei. However, if there are repeated purifications of a stubborn and weakening nature, there may be a deeper spiritual reason. This may happen if there is a lack of gratitude, and that's a very important point. Lack of gratitude, which limits the inflow of the divine light. When we come to see the logical manner in which God's law operates, both cause and effect becomes more clearly understood. So that's why, again, Johrei is not merely another technique to be applied for the healing of physical ailments. Its main purpose is to awaken the soul to the power of God and His light, which can change self-centered lives into God-centered ones. Was the study today about Johrei. I hope you enjoyed it and continue studying at home. And I hope to see you tomorrow for our morning service. I thank you all very much, and you all have a good evening. Thank you. This brings to a conclusion our evening service. Thank you everyone for joining us, and have a blessed evening.